Okay, let's go ahead and get started here there, folks. Give me a second. I want to make sure that I get things kind of set up here a little bit. Sorry I'm late. It is currently 2:48 at this time. Uh, was eating some lunch, a late lunch, and the like. So apologies on that. Now let's see. Let me get. It's not finding the Pega screen. There we go. Okay. So little bit of an uh, a little bit of an update here. For it's been a minute since I've done anything concerning Pega, so I wanted to kind of explain a few things. First off, um, they sent me an email and they basically said, "Hey, um, thanks for actually, not even thanks. They basically said, uh, you know, uh, don't worry. I marked the low code app builder extended completed for you. Um, Now, yeah, auto grading for this mission exercise is unavailable. We are aware of an issue where the mission exercise may not be marked as completed even though you passed all the tasks. We are working to resolve the issue as soon as possible. We apologize for the inconvenience. You know, I was willing to kind of help them out with this more, to try to figure out, what the main issue was because um I went through all of these, you know, um, to complete it all, and it wasn't, marking the exercise as complete, you know, in my previous videos. Um, so, I was talking with them and, talking with the main developer on this, and they were like, and they basically said, okay, I'm just gonna mark it as complete and be done with it. It's like, all right. Um, So my hands are off the steering wheel on this. They're apparently working on it. I don't know why. It's taking them a long time to handle the issue here. It sounds like okay, based off of what I feel might be the issue here. Okay, which again, I don't know. I don't know what might be happening here. Okay, obviously they have a process of it, looking at the instance. Um, you know, you click the verify mission exercise and it marks whether or not you've passed that particular task. Okay. And they had everything working, you know, 1 through 9, or at least, for the most part, they were basically saying, hey, you had this kind of exercise in the previous mission. Okay. Here, let me go back there real quick. In the low code app builder, right? I went through the mission exercise here. I went through all the 9 tasks. It checked, everything in there, and verified that, hey, no, you did indeed pass this particular task. And, down at the very bottom, you know, um, you checked everything and it marked it as complete. And I'm like going, okay, perfectly fine, perfectly reasonable um, but because we had that one issue with the low code app builder extended, with the um, when we were going through the mission exercise and we got to that one task that I couldn't get past because there was um, the visuals on the window were preventing me from selecting the right options. Um, they eventually took that particular task out of the entire exercise. But because they did that, it pretty much broke their entire exercise. Okay, to the point where their auto gridding is no longer working. Now, to be honest, I don't know what their auto grading system is all about. I kind of wish that I could see their code so that I could kind of tell um, how they went about doing it and see like what their process is for it. I would really love to kind of see their backend code for it, but I don't work for them, so I can't see it. And in some ways, I kind of wish that I could, so that I can maybe put in my 2 cents into the process. Um, because um, the most that I can think of that might be the issue that they're experiencing right at this moment in time is that um, it's still expecting 9 tasks in the exercise, or at least that's what I'm thinking. Their auto grading is still looking for 9 tasks. They set it up for 9 tasks. It's probably looking for 9 tasks, but because that one task has been removed and it's still looking for 9 tasks, it's probably wondering, okay, well, you still have one more task to complete, and therefore I can't give you the completed status. That's that's what I feel is probably happening. Okay. I don't know. Again, I'm not I'm not part of the company. I have no direct affiliation with them. I can't see their code. So there's nothing for me to really do to try to fix this particular issue. Okay. So so they basically said, "Hey, we're working on it. You don't have to worry about it. You can continue on," which is kind of irritating me a little bit because I'm a programmer. I want to troubleshoot and fix things, and when something's not looking right, it's like I want to help and fix this and work on this. God damn. Ah. Oh well. Oh well. But it's outside my hands. So, eventually they'll figure it out and fix it. But still, um, it's one of those things where it's like, you know, uh, I wouldn't mind helping them out more with it, but they said, don't worry about it. Focus on your focus on your other studies, or continue, you know, going through the rest. So. So basically, full on kind of dismissal for the most part. Um, Not to say that they don't, and the one person that I've been kind of talking with doesn't appreciate the fact that I've been putting in some valuable feedback for them, but at the same time, um, the it's just uh, I'm just like looking at it going, this it feels like it should be a very simple fix. So I don't know what's going on there, you know. Um, you know, or at least it seems like it should be a simple fix because you're just removing one task. Everything else is, should be working perfectly fine. They're checking out each task, checking to see whether or not it's completed, and if it completes all the tasks, then it marks it as complete. That should be fairly simplified code that they've already kind of built in. Now it's just a matter of like, hey, instead of 9 tasks, we're gonna go to 8 tasks, and that's it. That's all I need. You need to worry about. A simple reduction in number of tasks. That seems like a very simple um, numerical correction, and that's it. But I don't know. I don't know how they're doing the auto grading. Um, it seems like it should be a very simple process. Seems like it should be a very simple code correction. Um, but maybe it's more complex than what I'm thinking it should be. You know, I don't know. I can only I can only speculate along those lines. So, um, but I've shown and proven the fact that I have been able to get through the Builder Extended, as you've probably seen in my previous Pega videos. Um, so, just wanted to kind of give you this little heads up as to what is going on with the Ad Builder Extended. Okay. Um, you know, I did, this the completed status was given to me. It wasn't an auto-generated. Okay, so just wanted to be straightforward with everybody that's watching this, so that you don't come at me and go, why didn't you show us the video? Because there was no video. I didn't do an additional exercise off, in the background. Okay, I didn't do that. So don't think that I'm lying to you on this. Know that I was trying to chat with the the person that was kind of in charge of handling all responses, and then the lead developer of what's going on here. Those are the two people that I was chatting with, and well, um, you know, yeah. So we move on. Now, before I go too far into this, okay, um, you know, I have 45 minutes remaining on this particular mission, okay. We have the low code app builder extended mission test, 45 minutes, 30 questions, and I need a passing score of 80%. Now, it's been a while since I've done any kind of Pega development. So this is going to be a little rough. Um, Trying to remember everything that I had covered, um, you know, since managing application development here. Um, so I'm hopeful that, I'll be able to get through it, perfectly fine. There is a little part of me that's kind of worried that, I might have forgotten a few details, and it might be a little bit rougher on passing it. Okay. So, but that's my intention for today, to get past this. Then we'll get into some um, some video uploads, and then we will go into Warframe later on today. Um, Now, bear in mind that um, I want to state, you know, that I have no direct affiliation with Pega whatsoever. Okay, they're not paying me. I'm not sponsored by them or anything along those lines. There's nothing. There's nothing really there other than email communications about matters that problems that I found. That's it. Okay, that's about as much of a connection that there might be. Okay, so if you feel like I'm getting some kind of special treatment or something like that, no, that's not the case. Um, Second thing that I want to mention, okay, as I've mentioned before in previous videos, I am not an authorized training partner, and this is not meant to be an instructor-led training. Okay, these videos are, in a sense, um, the reason why I'm doing this is to kind of keep me pushing forward to get my certification in the, the system architect, and get my system architect certification so that I can get a job, programming Pega, for other companies. Okay. Um, I have worked for other companies, I guess, as a Pega developer, but it's hard for me to get a job without that certification. So, um, so I'm not like super knowledgeable. I don't have every single last little detail about Pega, in my brain. Um, I'm not going to be able to answer every single last little teeny tiny detail about Pega if you ask, if you come into my stream and ask about them, or if you are um, putting down comments in my YouTube videos as I upload them. Okay, but here's the thing: you should still ask those questions, though. Okay, feel free to put the question in my chat in the videos. Feel free to ask the questions. Okay, because you know I may not be able to answer them properly, but I know people that have worked with Pega for years, and they may know the answers to those questions. Or I can pass that on to some of the folks that work at Pega and see if they can answer it. Who's to say? Okay, feel free to reach out to me. Allow me to be kind of a middleman if necessary to see about what can be, uh, your question, you know, could potentially be answered by not only myself, but maybe someone that I know that may be able to come on and answer the question themselves. Okay, so um, so don't be afraid to ask the questions. Okay, please do, because even if I might not know the answer to said question, I might be interested in your question as well. Your question might spark other additional questions or whatnot. So I find that as a good learning tool. Okay, you want to ask questions so that you can find the answers or that you can get the answers. Okay, um, so don't be afraid to ask the questions. Ask them to me, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so don't be afraid on that. Okay, now I would suggest, if you have the money, to go with an instructor-led training. Okay. See, if you do have the money for it, go for the instructor-led training. Hopefully they'll provide you with an instructor that knows, yeah, every single last little detail about Pega, that they will be able to answer your questions, They will take it seriously. Um, they will be able to provide you all the information that you can need to so that when you do get to a point where you can handle the certification, um, you pass it with flying colors. That's what I would hope for within instructor-led training. So hopefully that would be something, hopefully you get, um, hopefully the training will be worth your money. Okay. I don't really know. When I was working, they provided an authorized training partner that was, well, not great. Okay. Um, we had some issues with him. Um, he wasn't answering our questions. He would um, deflect it towards, you know, oh, it's a problem with our computers and not with Pega itself. And he brought in another trainer, to try to train us in topics that he wasn't familiar with. And it's like, who is this guy? He didn't provide us with anything concerning like you know, we had questions from Pega 7 in a Pega 8.6 certification test. Okay. And he didn't create those connections. He didn't say, like, oh, yeah, this word used to be this word, or this keyword used to be called this back in Pega 7, or something along those lines. He didn't do that. And I find that as a failure as a teacher. So, um, so yeah. Um, a good majority of the people that were in that particular training group pretty much all went to self-study. You know, I don't think there might have been like maybe one or two people that were actively trying to listen in to the training sessions, but for the most part, I think everybody was just pretty much like, yeah, okay, I'm not gonna really listen to this guy. We're gonna do our own thing. So, at least for the most part. So that's my background on this. Okay, so that's who I am. Okay, so if you're thinking that I'm a trainer, don't. Okay, use this as a um, use this as a tool for yourself to continue, um, learning more details about, um, system architect and business architect. Okay. Okay. So now that we've covered all that, let me go ahead and do the quiz. Now they marked it as 45 minutes long, 30 questions, passing score of 80. We'll see what happens. Now I would recommend, if you are watching me right now, pause this, take the mission test yourself, and see how well you do. Okay? Because watching me answer them isn't going to necessarily help you out. Okay? You're going to need to know these details, you know, yourself when you get to the mission test, when you get to the certification. You're going to need to know this information. Okay? So don't feel, don't watch me answer the questions. Use it as a reinforcement. I would say, okay, um, because probably not going to be talking too much during the test. I want to be able to answer all 30 questions within the 45 minutes. So, okay, so let's get started on this, shall we? imagine that's visible and user selects mobile as their preferred communication method. A mobile phone number field is displayed. A promotion is available when a shopper has spent $100. The apply promotion button is grayed out until there's merchandise in the cart. Okay, wait. It's probably that one. Yep. Okay. Choose the answer. The best complete sentence. Automated decisions based on business logic enables my specific application users to focus on their decisions that require human expertise. Architects to improve the performance of the application. Architects to spend less time building an application. Yeah. Select two ways to use Agile Workbench to add details to bug and feedback items. I think it's these two. No. Okay. Must be those two. A blank is a blank, which is part of a blank for a blank. Okay. Um, oh, I don't remember this at all. Um, I would say I'd say maybe a region is in a widget is part of a template for a dashboard. Okay, I got those two mixed up. Gotcha. A widget is in a region which is part of a template for a dashboard. Okay. I was thinking region as in like a location, but that would be a failure on certification, by the way. Okay, that would be I missed. Well, I've already missed two questions, so right now I'm at 50-50. That's not great. Um, Blank are web channels that are accessed through a browser regardless of access device. Blank contain blank that combine information to match the needs of your users. To create new landing pages in App Studio, enter the design mode to access the landing pages menu. Um, Portals. Portals contain landing pages. Yeah. Which two actions can you perform in an Explore Data landing page? Um, I believe it's these two. Yeah. You can't edit the data and you can't create a new field, so that's why. Feel free to look through the correct answers and stuff like that to kind of help build your understanding there. So, creates and executes functional and performance test scripts. Has deep knowledge of a particular business topic or domain. Creates an acceptance criteria and prioritizes backlog items, non-technical business user participants in application development. Okay, so um, I believe it. This one is subject matter expert. Um, Quality assurance creates and executes functional and performance test scripts. Um, I believe product order prioritizes backlog items, and you have citizen developer for the non-technical user. Yeah. Requires a report on the average length of time required to obtain the various approvals for employee raises and promotions. What type of metric does the report provide? Average length of time. I can never really remember this particular detail, business metric and process metric. And I get confused about, what their, um, what they have here. I think this falls under business metric. Nope. Okay. Business metric report provides information on the data you define in your application, and most likely process metric. I don't think it's approval metric, so. Two mobile app channels interfaces are created for manager and employee user personas. The manager channel interface contains capabilities to run reports and edit orders, while the employee channel interface does not. Both personas can use either channel interface. Um, Okay, which of the following two statements are true about the dashboard? Persona-based interfaces must be created and customized for the personas used in the business. I believe that was one of the answers before, so yeah. Each persona-based interface includes an empty dashboard that must be customized with widgets tailored to the user's persona. I don't think that was correct. Each persona-based interface includes a dashboard tailored to the persona. I believe that was correct. Dashboard should contain all available widgets for a specific persona to help increase productivity. Dashboard displays key performance indicators and operational information about your application. Oh, damn it. I don't think this is correct. Both of them are wrong. Okay, um, so it's not number two because it's not an empty dashboard. So it has to be these two. Uh, so that again, certification incorrect. So You want to evaluate cases as potential duplicates when the existing cases and the current case have the same create operator. Um, let's see. You can just use a basic condition. You don't need weights on something like that. The business process requirement states that users should be able to modify the shipping address at any time without interrupting the primary path of the case. Which the following options is the best way to design for this requirement? Yeah. You want to configure your dashboard to include the work volume by status. How do you achieve this? Um, there you go. On a blank, you define a condition with comparators to determine when the blank is skipped. On a blank, you define a condition with comparators to determine when the blank is executed. Um, um, I think you have this, and then you have this. Nope. All right. All right. So on a stage, you define a condition with comparators to determine when the stage is skipped. On a process, you define a condition with comparators to determine when the process is executed. Right. Oh well. Which requirement could be satisfied with an optional action? An application randomly sends a survey to customers once the case is resolved. Allow user to transfer a case to another employee at any stage in case. Require a separate approval process when the order exceeds 10,000. Reassign any task that remains open after 3 days to another user. Um, I think it's that one. Hmm, I'm not quite sure about this one. This is more of a like a wait. Well, not necessarily a wait. What's it called again? The um, there's a time frame that I can do. Um, for this one. This one is another is a step that you can do, so that's not an optional action. So I'm gonna assume that this one is is the best choice out of it, out of the remaining. Um, all right, this one. Um, I think I think I messed this one up before because I was mentioning the fact that the email address and uh, assigned the role can be kind of swapped with each other. Um, I don't think this is correct. Yeah. Well, at least they create the auditor roles in the right spot, but hmm. Let's see. Um, it's either create the auditor web channel at the third step or at the first step, which that would be kind of silly for it to be on the first step. So, um, I don't know. This one seems a little off to me. Oh well. Uh, uh, There it is. You need the theme configuration menu, not the content configuration menu. Let's see. Credit score, income, assets, liabilities, on amount fields. Data is submitted on different based on a data provider. There are two no loans available. The case does not enter the loan stage. Oh, you configure the case type to form the data validation described in this scenario. I think this question, they don't necessarily change these questions up, before, so um, nope. Got that one wrong too. Valid swipe action. Returning to the previous screen. I think this is nope. Navigation actions cannot be set as swipe actions. Okay, I don't know why that's the case, but whatever. You can do that typically on other applications, but I'm assuming that one. Choose the two correct types of wait steps. Let's see. I believe it's case dependency and timer. Yeah. Which two statements are true about skipping stages and processes? Choose two. Stages are always skipped unless configured to continue? No. Stage never skips unless a condition is present. Yes. You can add only one condition to stage or process. I don't think that's true. A process always starts unless a condition is present. There we go. Two benefits of using Insights. Allow you to modify application data to fit your business requirements. Insights allow you to transform data inquiries into tables and visualizations that make data analysis easier. I believe that's the case. Insights allow you to sort data into application that no. Think that's correct? Yeah. Following statements is true about automation shapes. An automation shape can be used to change the stage of a case. Automation shape can be used to configure service level agreements for a case type. An automation shape can be used to delete a case. Automation shape can be used to create views. I don't think either one of those two are correct. Automation shape can be used to change the stage of a case, which is true. think that's the best one. Yeah. And users can create clear selections on a form and view the previous actions on the case. How do you configure this action set on a button to achieve this result? Um, um, hmm. Configure a click event with a refresh action. I think that one's the correct one, yeah. Manager requests a report that contains the following columns. Sort the create date values so that most recently created cases appear at the top of the list. Cases sending from newest to oldest. How should you design the report to support this requirement? I think that was the correct answer. Yeah. Customer service representative opens a refund request case, determines if it's duplicate, resolves it. The case status changes to resolve duplicate. What happens to case next? The duplicate cases are automatically merged into one case. The duplicate case is moved to the queue and to be merged later. Processing in the case terminates. The case is routed to the manager for resolution. I think it's this one. Yeah. All right. User wants to see a number of service requests that team members perform at different times of the day. The developer adds the reports. Um, reports custom page, the main menu of the user portal. Default portal reports is out of the box. Is an out of the box landing page. Yeah. Manager reports that a large number of cases are incorrectly identified as potential duplicates. Which two approaches can you use to modify the case search process to reduce the number of potential duplicates identified? Um, I believe it's those two. Yeah. Okay, to determine how to process a loan application, you configure the application to evaluate the applicant's credit score for a mortgage loan case. The credit score of the application is greater than 700. The case goes immediately to underwriting, which is what that one is doing. If the credit score of the applicant is below 500, the application is sent an email denying the loan application, which is correct. Otherwise, the case requires a follow-up review by a loan officer, which is not being shown here. Um, so this is probably the best choice here. Yeah, that was the best choice. So. A Plus Bank offers new mortgage loans to eligible customers. The bank creates a loan request form to collect the loan request and decides not to consider the loan request if a customer already applied for a loan. To achieve the business use case, which of the following automation shapes are best suitable? Um, um, yeah, I think it's search duplicate cases. Yeah. Okay. Finish. Check. And definitely not 100%. Did I pass the 80% though? Not sure. Probably missed a couple because I had some wrong answers in there. Hey, you completed low code app builder extended and earned a new badge. Yay. Close that down. Okay, so I got a 93%. So yes, yes, yes. I don't need to see that anymore. So this is a little weird that they're showing zero, 0 out of 1 questions correct. Okay, sounds reasonable. So they're basically saying, hey, you should probably review inviting users to an application. Um, Calculating fields using decision tables. Apparently, I got 0 out of 0 questions correct. Okay. And then creating a child case, again, another 0 out of 0 questions correct. It's like, that's a little bit of a problem. What's going on there, Pega? Let me go ahead and collect this screenshot here because that's a little weird. So 1 second. Let's see. Let me put all these in. Let's see, actually, hold on. Oh, shit. Uh, moving all the. I've made so many screenshots of the Pega over my time doing this that it, everything's kind of gotten a little disorganized. So I think it's time for me to kind of get a little organized here. This is getting a little ridiculous. So, okay, I think there's more here. I'm gonna need to filter through that and figure out what the heck is going on here. Okay, let's see. This was the mission test. I don't think I have a um, don't think I have anything concerning that. Mission test one. All right. Okay, suggest an edit. Okay, it's being very problematic right at this moment in time. Okay. Um, just finished my test and I noticed that the questions that I got wrong are being shown as 0 out of 0. Um, this might need to be reviewed. Um, Plus, I'm seeing an additional issue with the suggest and edit window. I will provide another suggestion soon with an image that I'm taking right now. Okay, let me go ahead and screenshot this because this is messed up. Let's see. I'll just mark this down as a Pega error 7. Okay, submitting that. Okay, for your suggestion. There's another suggestion, edit. Noticing that there is no background to your window on the suggest and edit. Not sure what is going on with that, but providing a screenshot so you can see what I'm currently looking at. Good luck in resolving this issue as well. Okay, well, that's That was the thing. Okay, so they made basically suggestions that I look back at, um, you know, inside the low-code app builder. They made suggestions that I should go back through inviting users to an application. Seeing that I uh, missed the question there. There it is. One of the newest ones. Calculating fields using decision tables. Right there. And creating a child case. That one right there. So, now, the mission is completed. I don't have to worry about this anymore. Okay. We've completed we completed what we needed to do for the system architect on, for that mission. Both of these missions are completed. Okay, so I don't necessarily need to go back through that again. Now, but here's the thing. Here's what I would kind of like to do. Tomorrow, I want to go back through. Um, I want to go back through this mission test again and go back through the questions. And, I'll most likely, have, potentially wrong answers, right? I'll select the feedback and I'll show like, hey, you missed this particular question. But here's the thing. I'm going to go ahead and, well, I'm not even going to worry about the feedback, right? Well, I mean, I probably should just to kind of see what they say about it. But if there's parts that I'm not like 100% sure about, then uh, I should fail it, or I should, miss the question, okay, so that it will kind of show me the sections that I may need to strengthen my understanding with, okay. You know, sure, you know, I passed it with a 93%, okay, with the test, okay. But here's the thing. With the ones that I missed, and I clicked the feedback and saw the fact that I did miss, if I didn't have that feedback there, then I probably would have gone below that 80%. Okay. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Um, which means if I'd taken that knowledge to the certification, I would have probably failed the certification as well. Okay. So you don't want to have that happen there, folks. You want to know the ins and outs of everything that they provide to you. Okay. If there's like tiny little details there that you're not quite sure, you're not really grasping very well, then you're going to need to go back and research, review, and get that understanding solidified in your brain before that certification. You know, you should be looking at these questions and not only knowing what they're asking, but being able to answer them like that. Okay. Looking at each one of the answers and going, nope, that's not possible, that's not possible, that's not possible. That's the correct answer. You know, you should be confident in that. Okay. Or at least try to be as confident as you possibly can. Okay. Because the certification is going to be asking you definitely different questions than what is being provided here in the mission test. Okay. So, go through, um, go through mock certification exams. Okay, check out previously asked questions that Pega's provided. Well, not necessarily provided, but look online for people that have taken the certification exams before. What the questions that they were asked, and the selections of answers that were provided. Okay, look through those. Study them. Know what they're asking about on those questions, so that you can um, understand Pega more when you get to that certification and you take it, okay, and you pass it, or hopefully you can pass it. Okay, the the line of passing isn't that high. Okay, so it's not like you need to have 100% in order to get your certification. Okay, so don't stress about that. Okay, it's even less than 80%. Last I knew. Okay, I think it was like 60%. Okay, when for last time that I took the certification. Okay, and yes, my first attempt, I got below that. Okay, the reasoning behind that was one, I didn't feel confident in what I knew at the time of taking the certification exam. Okay, I was basically forced into taking that certification exam by the instructor. Okay, by this authorized training partner. He basically said, you need to take this certification exam as soon as possible, or we're gonna have to drop you. Okay, that was basically what they 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 did. Okay, I didn't feel confident about it. I surely wasn't getting a whole lot of support from the training partner that we had. Okay, and by that point in time, I was already doing the self study. Um, but the um, you know the time allotment for these missions were completely incorrect. And in my particular case, there was a lot of information that um, I felt wasn't fully covered in the modules when I took it. And um, the certification asked questions that were in Pega 7, okay, using different keywords. I don't remember the keywords because I'd never seen them before in the certification. They were basically talking about work baskets, I think, at one point in time. I believe that was one of the keywords. But that's not an 8.6 or beyond. Okay, they changed that. Okay, so yeah, it's one of those things where it's like there were questions in there that I didn't know, or I wasn't like confident enough in it. They were asking keywords that I'd never even seen before, um, and was never addressed by our instructor about it. Um, and um, there were sections that I hadn't even gone into in my own self-study to really know like the ins and outs of everything that was being asked for on the certification exam. So, you know, it wasn't a surprise to me that I failed that certification and that first certification exam that I took. Okay. Now, could I have taken it again and maybe passed it? Maybe. Um, but again, I didn't feel confident enough, at that point. Okay. You know, so my purpose in these videos is, for myself to kind of strengthen my understanding of Pega so that when I feel comfortable on trying to take the certification exam myself in my own time and hope that I can pass it, um, I'll be confident enough that, I will, pass their, um, you know, I will be able to answer enough of their questions to get past their certification requirements. Okay. Their 60% or whatever, well, whatever it was again. Um, but um, these questions being asked here in the mission test, don't expect to see them in the certification exam. Okay. If you do, you might see like maybe one or two, maybe. Okay. This is about understanding what they are talking about, understanding the material that they are asking about, understanding the topics, and understanding, what they're looking for in their answers. Okay. Um, you know, don't memorize the questions, don't memorize the module questions because that's not going to help you. Okay. Understand the content of said questions, understand the content of said answers. Okay. That will be 100 times better than just trying to memorize the questions. Okay. So hopefully that helps you out in your journey to getting the certification. Um, so so we are done with our 2 missions. Again, like I said, I'm gonna cover the test again tomorrow to kind of see, you know, what subjects I need to brush up on. Okay. I would suggest that you do the same. Okay. Go back over the test. Find the questions that you missed, especially if you missed it the first time. Your first selections. If don't even bother with the feedback. You know, miss those questions. Find out the topics. Review those topics. Okay, because that will help you out on the certification. Okay, if you can understand the topics, understand what they're trying to go for, understand what they're looking for on that. Okay, that will be helpful for you in the certification way more than just trying to understand, trying to memorize the questions. Okay, the module questions. Those module questions, they're not going to help you out. Don't bother with them. Okay, don't bother trying to memorize the module questions because you will not see them. Okay, so hopefully that helps you out. Um, so on Monday, um, we're gonna be changing direction here a little bit, okay? Um, because we finished our 2 missions here. Now it's saying that I'm 50% through. I did 2 missions and I'm only 50% the way through the system architect. Just bear that in mind, okay? They're saying that I still have 21 hours and 55 minutes remaining in the system architect, okay, by itself. For the business architect, though, okay, the we completed both of the missions here. So um, on Monday, I'm gonna go through the Pega Express introduction and the architecture and design during the prepare phase. Okay, I'm gonna go over both of these. Um, well, not necessarily both of them on Monday, because I mean, look at this one, 1 hour and 30 minutes. That's gonna take a while. Um, but I'll cover both of these modules, and then we'll do the business architect mission test. Okay, to finish off the business architect mission altogether. Okay, and hopefully those of you that are studying for the business architect will will be comfortable enough that they're gonna you can review all the additional questions for the business architect certification. Look up a line, do a Google search, for um, mock business architect exams out there. And when you feel ready, try for the business architect certification. Okay. Um, but only when you feel ready. Okay. Go through those mock exams and see if you can, get, 70, 80, 90%, correct on those mock exams. Okay. Now, those mock exams aren't going to be, aren't necessarily endorsed by Pega or anything along those lines. They don't have anything, to my knowledge, set up for, um, certification study. Okay. This is the certification study for them. Okay. So just bear that in mind. Um, so yeah, that's it. That's where we're gonna go ahead and end today's video for Pega. Um, so yeah, okay, that's gonna be it. I want to thank everybody for stopping on by and joining me on this. No chatters today, but that's okay. Anybody that was just kind of lurking in the background, thank you for being there. Um, like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to put it into the comment section. Okay, especially if you're watching this later on. Okay. Um, I may try to answer it. Someone else may try to answer it. Hopefully they can provide you with the answers that you're seeking for. Okay. So, do yourself that favor. Okay. If there's a question that you're not understanding very well, ask those questions. Okay. If you don't ask them, then you'll never get that answer. And that might be a certification question. Okay? Just bear that in mind. If there's something that you're not understanding, that might pop up on the certification. And if you're not ready for it, there's another question marked off wrong. Okay? So, you know, do yourself that favor. Ask those questions. You know. Um, so yeah, that's it. So thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. Um, and yeah, we're gonna go ahead and stop the recording now.